Unsure of what to do, Danny calls her boyfriend for reassurance. He tells her that she's putting too much thought into her sister's email.
Listen, I got kind of a scary email from Terry, and she hasn't been responding.
She's a little upset because it sounds like he doesn't understand. Meanwhile, Danny's boyfriend Christian is out with his friends, talking to them about her. They suggest that he should leave her because she's too overbearing. He suddenly gets another call from her and leaves the table to answer. Christian picks up the phone, only to hear her screaming and crying uncontrollably because her entire family died. Firemen find her parents dead in their own bed. Her sister has killed herself and taken them with her. A while later, Danny is lying on her bed, depressed. Christian comes in and tells her that he'll go to a party. She says that she'll join him, even though he's not particularly eager about that. At the party, Danny's interest is sparked by a conversation her boyfriend and his friends Pell, Josh and Mark are having about the summer trip to Sweden the group had been planning. It's the first time she's hearing about it, and the trip is in 2 weeks. Back at her apartment, she confronts him, asking why he didn't tell her. He tries to weasel around the issue, but Danny doesn't understand why Christian wasn't open with her. Sometime after, Christian is hanging out with his friends and they're talking about Sweden. Danny calls him to say that she'll be up in a moment. While waiting, Christian tells them that he invited her on the trip, but that she won't go, even though she said yes. They're upset with him, but promise to act as if they knew about the invitation and as if they don't have a problem with it. Danny arrives and they all greet her nicely, but act super awkward toward her. Mark asks Christian to join him in the other room. Pell chats with Danny, while Josh completely ignores her. She asks about the week he had planned for the group in his village, because her birthday will be on the same day that they'll be arriving. He tells her that it's actually a 9-day festival held by his small community. Pell shows her some photos of previous festivities and she's very impressed. Suddenly, he turns to her and says that he's very glad that she'll be coming with them. He also tells her that he's very sorry about her parents and that he can empathize, because he had also lost his own. Danny gets upset and runs to the bathroom. On the plane to Europe, Danny cries in the toilet. They arrive in Sweden and drive to Pell's village located somewhere in the north of the country. The group stops in a field where all the other young people coming back home have gathered. Pell is greeted by his brother Ingmar, who introduces them to his friends Simon and Connie. Ingmar gives them some shrooms and they all take it, even though Danny is reluctant at first. The entire group of young people walk through the woods and eventually arrive at the village, where the people from the community welcome them.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome home.
Oh.
They are already wearing their festival clothes and playing music. Danny enjoys the serene atmosphere of the place, smiling and taking it all in. Pell greets one of the elders, who welcomes them eagerly. He tells them that the official festivities will begin the next day. After a while, Pell gives the group a tour around the village and answers Josh's questions about the community. Connie asks Danny and Christian how long they've been together and they give a different answer. During the tour, Christian spots a building in the distance. It's a sacred temple, which no one is allowed to enter. The group splits up in two. Pell takes his friends to their accommodation in a beautifully decorated cabin, which is shared by all of the people of the community. Danny goes to look around the building and finds a wall of photos with the May Queens. Meanwhile, Pell tells Christian that he forgot her birthday. Danny asks about the wall, prompting the whole group to come over. Christian calls her outside and starts singing happy birthday to her, while trying to light a birthday candle. He lies to her first, saying that he didn't forget but got messed up because of the constant daylight. But when she sees through him, he apologizes and she blows out the candle. That night, everyone is preparing for bed and Pell tells them that the first day of the festival is very important. The next day, the celebration for the first day of the festival is underway. Everyone joins the community table in front of the sacred temple, as young girls are seen picking flowers. Christian asks how long they will have to stand and Pell tells him that they'll stand until it's right to sit. Danny comes over and gives him flowers, then a boy rings a bell and the old couple that received the torches the previous day arrive at the table. The two of them sit down and everyone follows. The couple begins eating and all the others follow again. Mark spots a girl he likes on the other side of the table. The couple stands up and performs some kind of ritual. Everyone stands and drinks in their honor. Then the two of them get carried away on their chairs. All of the people follow them again, except Mark. Everyone is gathered around a large cliff, looking up at it. The couple gets carried on top of the cliff and the distant sounds of a horn can be heard. The woman appears on the top of the cliff first. She jumps and crashes on the ground. Danny is completely shocked. Ingmar tries to calm Simon and Connie, who are beside themselves. Then the man appears on the cliff as well. He jumps, but falls on his feet and doesn't die. He gets beaten to death with a wooden hammer. The foreigners are freaking out and Siv explains the custom to them. The community is walking back to the village and the foreigners are running up front, with Danny ready to fall apart. Later that day, the bodies of the old couple get disposed of in a ritual way. That night she asks Josh for a sleeping pill. Maya is actually awake. She goes over to Christian's bed and places something under it. Josh sees her do that. On the second day of the festival, Danny is the only one to sleep late. Pell is gardening when Mark and Josh approach him.
Wait a minute, I seriously doubt that the elders will approve of anything being written down. They're extremely protective.
Okay, so then I'll just use aliases.
He tells Josh that he can write his thesis,